Oi, oi, welcome to Spirit Boost on Lockdown, episode 3. Do you listen to God's voice? So we are looking at the life of Cain in the first book of the Bible. He was the first human being to be born to Adam and Eve, his parents. And the question is, why do so many Christian leaders mess up publicly? That it comes out they have been living this double life. How is that possible? When on one hand they seem to have this powerful message from God and hearing from God, and that speaks to you, and then you find out they've been living a double life. How can the two coexist? It seems impossible. And we start to question, were they really hearing from God? Was all of that just a lie? Was I just being tricked? Was I being brainwashed? Well, there's actually some real encouragement and some challenges from the life of Cain. Because we looked at last week, he was really annoyed that he gave a gift to God, but he hadn't given the best. He was jealous that his brother Abel gave God something. He gave the best to God, and God was pleased with it. And Cain kind of gets in his grump, and God speaks to him. How clearly do you hear God's voice? Like, do you audibly hear God speak to you? Because God had already been walking in the garden with his mum and dad, Adam and Eve. I don't know what God sounded like walking in the garden. Did he have like huge stomping feet like you see on Jurassic Park? Boom, boom. Oh no, God's coming. Or was he just going on a little chill out walk, rustling his hands through the flowers? I don't know. But God was so close to them. Now, having a conversation with God was nothing strange. And God says to Cain, in verse 6 of chapter 4 of Genesis, why are you so angry? Why do you look so dejected? You'll be accepted if you do what is right. But it gives him a warning. God says, don't refuse what is right. Watch out. Sin is crouching at your door. It wants to master you. It wants to consume you. But you have to control sin. Now, if you've seen the film Bruce Almighty, it's quite funny where he's saying, God, give me a sign, and he drives past all these road signs that are a warning and he ignores them. And it's like, actually, God was really clearly speaking to him in that moment. How much more had God spoken to Cain, verbally said, just be careful, just stop it. You do not want to let sin control you. And yet he still ignores the voice of God. In that moment, he's so consumed later on that he messes up. And you and me can hear the voice of God. Church leaders, Christian leaders can hear the voice of God. But how well do we hear it? Are we practicing to be better and better at hearing the voice of God? You know, sometimes I'm like, did I really hear God? I think that maybe that's God speaking to me. I think I better check in the Bible. It's nothing weird. Maybe that is God. Maybe it isn't. Let's keep on pursuing that intimacy with Jesus. Let's keep desiring to be close to him. That is nothing strange to hear him directly speak to us. That he would give us those direct warnings of watch out. What are you doing? There's danger up ahead. You know, that's the sad thing, that when people, and it's all public and they've messed up, it's because they've heard those warnings of God and they've chosen to ignore it. And the more they ignore it, they then get overcome by this desire to do something wrong and they can't control it. It controls them. But God says to Cain, actually, you need to control it. And the same is true for you and me. We need to put ourselves in their shoes. They're no different to you and me. They're other human beings. Maybe you're in that boat and you've really messed up. You've really made a hash of things because you didn't choose to listen to the warnings of God. Maybe you're in a place where God is speaking to you even right now and he's warning you, don't give in to the temptations. But as you scroll through things on your phone and you see certain things, maybe that's a temptation for you. What you watch on the TV, the things you listen to, the conversation, the people you hang out with, the things you choose to do is a temptation to do wrong. You need to control that temptation. You need to control that sin and don't let it control you. Because otherwise, disaster will come. And that's what we're going to look at next week when it's really messed up, when you've given in. So my challenge and my encouragement this week is let's be people who listen to the voice of God and do what he says. And let's get better at listening to him. God wants to be so clearly speaking to you and me. He's not content with you just hearing him as a faint maybe whisper, hint. He wants you to really clearly know his voice, because Jesus said, I know my sheep and my sheep hear my voice. They know my voice. Let's keep on practicing listening to Jesus' voice, and I'll see you next week. Cheers, God bless. Hey, thanks for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, hit like, subscribe on YouTube, and follow us on Facebook. And if you want to get more involved in our work reaching out to young people across the UK and Europe, then you can support us by going to give.net or asking us a question below.